So with the conclusion of Japan Finals and Bandai Card Fest, we have gotten the announcement of a new ban list. We'll find out what it is on the 16th of March, and it doesn't go live until the 1st of April. But as it says here, it's a prohibition revisions, or they'll inform us about the prohibition revisions. So what that makes me think is they're going to focus less on actually banning more stuff and more on taking old stuff off the ban list. But anyway, let's have a look at, so this was Japan Finals, right? This was the 61 decks that participated in Japan Finals. So it was all the best players in Japan. And as you can see, about half of the room was playing Boa. That is a disgusting representation. Sorry, I should say it's 29 Boa, 6 Nami, 5 Purple Yellow Resonante, 4 Red Green Law, not Red Green Luffy. They actually had 4 Red Green Law. That was an interesting choice. I respect it greatly. 4 Mihawk, 3 of each of the blue purple leaders, so Luffy and Sanji, 2 black red Sabo, and then only 2 Ace and 2 Emu. Funnily enough, 2 Ace and 2 Emu. The problem decks of the horrific OP13 format are now reduced to a mere 2 each. There was more purple yellow Rosinante than there were Ace and Emu combined. Insane. And then to finish off, 1 red black Kobe. So obviously the elephant in the room is 29 Boa. 29 Boa. And she was already extremely strong, and she just got a couple more cards that have pushed her over the edge. Nami, I do think the play rate, even though it's a really good deck, is a little bit inflated here because these people took it knowing that Boa was going to be a really strong decision, and Nami is just a counterpick to Boa. And we saw it had a fantastic conversion rate, with the grand final being 2 of these 6 Nami in a mirror match. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, let's talk about the ban list. Let's talk about what we think, knowing this information, what the ban list will be. Because there was a time where I was like, we need to hit Ace, we need to hit Emu. Like, this OP13 format is atrocious, and they're still strong in OP14. But with looking at this, I think, and especially with some of the OP15 reveals, has got me thinking that I think if they were going to hit Ace or Emu, they've missed their window. Like, they're now winding down in playability, and if they do hit them, I think it will be like too late. We've already suffered through it, you know? All right, so let me bring up what I have here on the other screen. So this is the current ban list. So obviously this is the last ban list. I think this will absolutely stay. Nobody wants to see Blue Purple Luffy have these cards. This will absolutely stay. This leader's never getting unbanned ever again. These were unbanned, and then these are the cards we still have banned. So Kabaji unbanned, and then all these cards like Moby Dick, Greater Option, Enya's Lobby, what else? Ice Age, are all getting like soft unbanned with rotation happening in April, because they are unbanned for the Eternal format, basically. So that leaves us with only a few cards left, honestly. Gecko Moria, Jinbei, Kingdom Come, Law, is that it? And Reject. So what do I think could possibly come off the ban list, knowing what we know now? I think, for starters, Jinbei. Jinbei could definitely come off the ban list, I think, at this point. Like, if you want to include it in Doffy, that's fine. He's no longer around. Other Warlord decks that could use it, like, people could say, for example, maybe Boa could use it. But honestly, I think that the way Boa is now, she would have to cut stronger cards to make room for this Jinbei, and it doesn't have a trigger, so it's less frustrating to play against. So honestly, I doubt Boa would even consider running this, to be honest. So with all that in mind, I reckon they could definitely take this card off the ban list now. As for the rest, Kingdom Come is an interesting one. Like, I feel, part of me says it could come off the ban list, and the other part of me is like, we're about to get a new Sky Island Luffy leader that looks pretty solid, and I'm not sure I want to see him with this. you know, and also obviously the reason it was banned in the first place was because Enel is, even though he wasn't topping, it was a quality of life thing for the player base, like the broader player base, where nobody wanted to play against Enel, especially with this card, because it was just not fun. It was just not fun. It was from a consumer point of view that they banned that card. We have a very controversial one in 8-cost Gecko Moria. Call me crazy. I think this card could potentially also come off the ban list. Like, I feel like it wouldn't be that bad if it came off the ban list. I don't think they will. I think the trauma of this card is still is still there, so I don't think they'll bring it off yet. But also, a part of me thinks that, like, Lucci, for example, just got a lot of new support, a lot of actually quite good support, and he was one of the main offenders with this card. So I doubt they want to bring it back at around the same time we get new support for Lucci. But they could. Honestly, they could. I think it's not that bad anymore in the state that the game has been. Like, obviously, the state of the game, it's power crept a lot since that card was terrorizing the game. What else? This card right here, not coming back, not a chance, no way in hell. This card will never come back, and if it does, it will be way down the line, or it'll just rotate and then it'll be forgotten about and it'll never come back. Like, this leader is just way too good. It's way too good. It does everything you could possibly want, especially, like, it's so generic. You can just lop in good purple and red cards, and as the game goes on, obviously you get more good purple and red cards. It limits card design, which is a problem, and just the fact that it has, like, infinite card draw, infinite don, aggro, removal, you know, 6k chump block, like blockers to chump small swings with. It's just way too strong, and I don't think it's coming back anytime soon. And thank God. It's a fun deck, don't get me wrong. I like playing it, but it's just way too strong to come back. And other than that, I think that is everything apart from rejects. Reject, I think, could also maybe come back. I don't think it will, but I think it definitely could. The problem is that it's, again, too generic. Like, any yellow deck can just throw this in, and you have to think about it. You have to play around it. Like you're not safe at 1 or even 2 life out of nowhere. And it's still a very strong card to this day, but I think the problem is, yeah, it's just too generic. You're going to see it too often in just, like, almost every yellow deck, like, except for the ones that just want to stall out the game. And even then, you know, Anel wanted to start the game, and he ran it because it has KO a 5 cost, you know? So it's just too flexible, too generic. I don't see it coming back. I think it might. It probably could. But again, from a consumer point of view, you don't want a card like this in the game. Same as, like, Rygo promotes a very toxic Anel playstyle. This promotes a very toxic Anel playstyle, which is already a very toxic deck that casual players really don't like playing against. So I doubt Reject is coming back. All right, so we've covered all those. The ones that are getting unbanned, the ones that, like, with rotation, the ones that definitely aren't, and the ones that maybe. So let's get on to what I think, if they do ban anything, they could actually ban. Like I said already, Ace and Emu, I feel like the window has passed, and I feel like if they were going to hit it, it's probably misguided. The only way I see them hitting it is if they hit other stuff, like Boa, for example, and they say, oh, well, maybe we hit Ace as well, or Emu as well, if we're hitting stuff like this. You know, they do a preemptive ban, worrying that it's going to be too good. But, like, personally, I feel like Emu's already falling off, and with OP15, you've got Lucy, which is like a soft Emu ban. Like, you straight up, if Lucy is playable at all, you just can't play Emu. Like, you just can't. It's not playable. And whereas Ace is a bit more generic and a bit more annoying, but he also has more counter matchups. So I feel it is too late, and they probably shouldn't ban anything from those leaders. But if you wanted to do it again from just a customer, like, satisfaction point of view, because everybody is just, like, PTSD from OP13, hate those leaders, you can't ban 7-drop stage like everybody wants to, or that just actually kills the deck. You may as well ban the leader. You could ban some of the excess amount of counter events that he has, or you could pair ban, stuff like that. For Ace, 8 cost event or Marco, easy choice. Either pair ban Marco or just get rid of the Ace 8 cost event, and then the deck is fixed. But like I said, it's already probably too late. So here we go. This is the main offender that I think could get banned, like is quite likely to get banned, or at least pair banned. To fix Boa, you have to pair ban this card or FEMA or both, because there is no way that you should have all these insane, like, triggers, card draw, life burn, like life take, put your opponent to 0. They can't hit you back. You're healing, you're triggering. They can't rush you. They trigger. Like, it's ridiculous. There's no way they should have that. But then also punish you for drawing cards and punish you for going to 0. Sometimes together at the same time. Those pairs are just too strong, and they are getting a little bit toxic. I can see them pair banning with Boa, or they could just get rid of Pudding altogether. I don't think anyone would complain. But on the other hand, it is like a bit of a necessary evil. Like, when this card first got announced, I was like, oh my god, thank god. Finally, I don't have to deal with Red Whitebeard anymore. OP2 Whitebeard, finally, I don't have to deal with him anymore. Because that card, that leader was genuinely awful to play against back in the day. So, but now this card has become a problem to where the power decks are using it, and you know, you should either be giving it to everyone or no one, or just pair ban it for the strong stuff like Boa that's really abusing it. Like, watching Japan finals is like, oh well, I was multiple times I was like, wow, this guy's got a good chance to beat the Boa here, and then he just gets Pudding and the game's over. Like, it's just terrible. There's a blue-purple Luffy who got smashed because he got puddinged twice. It was disgusting to see. So yeah, I think pair ban is potentially more likely, but they could just get rid of the card altogether. We'll see. Now, the next one is a very problematic card that I don't think is going to get banned, and that is the new Borsalino that they've just gotten over in the East. So this card is way too generic, and it's way too strong. Like, it's just ridiculous. I think everybody, when this got announced, read it and was like, what the hell are they cooking? What is this? So why I don't think they'll ban this is because it's literally just come out. Like, unless they decide to chuck it on there in wake of Japan finals, you know, in the next month, which is possible. It's entirely possible. But also, you know, we don't get this card in the West for another month and a bit. So it would be one of those cases where it's basically just banned for us before we even get to use it, which honestly I don't think is a bad thing. I think this card is ridiculous and probably should be banned. But I don't see them doing it. I don't see them doing it. What they could do instead is, if they want us to be able to use the new card but have it be slightly less toxic, is get rid of this card or pair ban it. Again, pair bans are a good solution, but the problem is they get quite confusing if you have too many pair bans in effect. So if they were to get rid of this card, it would make the Borsa way less toxic to play against. It would still be an insanely strong card for like borderline every yellow deck, which is a bit but it, like, this card is what makes it seriously toxic. Like, the fact that you can stack your life or just like luck it out of life, and you essentially heal 1 for free and play a 6k blocker, not even a chump blocker, a 6k blocker from your trash. And then if you're Boa, guess what? You get to draw a card anyway. That's the worst bit. You get to draw 1, heal 1, and play a 6k blocker. Back in the day, we used to trigger trash 2 cards just to heal 1, and that was it. No playing, no drawing. Trash 2, heal 1, and that was considered a very strong life trigger. So this is getting a bit out of hand, to be honest. So I can see them, if they don't want to ban the Borsa or do anything about the Borsa currently, they could also consider hitting this, or at least pair banning this. But other than that, I don't think there's actually that many problem cards at the moment. Like, Ace and Emu were big problems, but they were big problems. I don't think they're as big a problem anymore. And now we're getting sort of into the yellow and blue era of problems, mainly these 2 cards, especially in decks where these 2 cards are run together, or, you know, Boa, where these 3 cards are run together, plus Perfume Femur and other ridiculously strong cards, where she's getting to be a problem. You know, so I think these cards could potentially, any of these cards could potentially see limits or bans. Other than that, I think they could hit Ace or Emu, but it would be too late, too little too late. We've already suffered through it, and it would just be for a customer satisfaction, you know, perspective. And yeah, if I had to pick one that's most likely going to come off the ban list, it would be the Jinbei. Everything else is sort of up in the air, I think. But I can definitely see Jinbei coming off. If they unban Red Purple Law, I might freak out. Like, I might actually crash out if they unban Red Purple Law. So that better not happen. All right, well, that's about it. Those are my thoughts on the matter. So I've got a new Heroines Cup gameplay video coming up. I'm going to do a box opening, maybe multiple box openings, hopefully, of EBO 3 this Friday. And then obviously when the ban list eventually does come out, we'll revisit it and give our thoughts on it, see how close we were to predicting it. And yeah, awesome. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see y'all later. Ciao, ciao.